Ladies and gentlemen, if you clicked on this video, chances are you want to learn how to study fast and get an A+ in all your classes. Well, you're in the right spot. My name is Collin and I'm a student at Yale University studying computer science. And in this video, I'll teach you how to get perfect grades with ease in the least amount of time possible. Listen, the reason why most students get bad grades is because they don't study. And the reason why they don't study is because it takes too long. I get it, I've been there. But guess what? It doesn't have to be that way. In high school, I got a 4.0 GPA while studying max 2 hours a day. I've probably taken over 100 exams and many different classes. And what I can tell you is that studying effectively is a choice. All you need is the right mindset and the right strategy. So the first thing you want to do is rewire your mindset. And there are 3 key things you must do. The first thing you want to do is realize that the time you spend studying does not equal knowledge gained. Look, I always hear a lot of students saying stuff like, "Oh, I studied for 12 hours today," or "Oh, I studied until 2 a.m. yesterday." Listen, I don't know about you, but for me, it's not a flex. I would much rather just study 2 hours a day and get the same results, if not even better, than the student who studied for like 10 hours a day. Now, I'm not saying that studying for 10 hours a day is wrong. I have plenty of super smart friends at Yale who do that. But for me, I place a lot of value in my hobbies, projects, and I'm always on a mission. So if you want to build a fun and exciting life outside of school, you need to study smart. Now, the second thing you want to do is trick your brain. You want to manipulate yourself into thinking that you are an academic weapon, that any class, any exam is doable, no matter how hard it may seem. Because if you truly believe that you can do it, you're just gonna end up learning it so much faster. It's actually so powerful. Also, you want to tell yourself that the material you're learning is super fun. Listen, it may be the most boring thing ever. I don't care, but if you just tell yourself that what you're learning is important and that it's interesting, it'll make studying feel much more effortless and easy. Now, the last thing you want to do is implement Parkinson's Law. Parkinson's Law is all about setting goals and deadlines for yourself. So let me give you an example. If you have a math exam coming up, you don't want to give yourself an entire Saturday to study. Just give yourself 2 hours to study on that Saturday, or 3 hours max. Because if you give yourself too long of a time span to get work done, you're just gonna end up wasting lots of time. So what you wanna do is schedule in shorter study sessions. But during those study sessions, you're locked in and fully focused. So it sounds kind of counterintuitive because it's almost like you're limiting your study time. But paradoxically, that's when you're going to become the most productive. Guys, once you adopt these 3 key mindsets, you'll be able to study much more effectively. With that said, the next thing you want to do is learn active recall. Active recall, in my opinion, is the best study technique. And the basic idea is that instead of just reading the textbook, you're learning through testing. You're learning through answering questions. So I just finished watching Andrew Huberman's 2-hour video on studying. And the main takeaway I got was that testing is the best way to study. And the reason why it's so effective is because of the forgetting curve, which is a concept that basically says we quickly forget new information unless we keep practicing it. Guys, our brain learns faster when we're trying to retrieve some information. So if you have an exam coming up or you're trying to study for some class, you want to actively test yourself through practice questions and papers. And you want to go through all of them until it's like muscle memory, until you don't even need to see the question and you know the answer. Okay, maybe you can't do that. But the point is, you want to test yourself and make sure you fully understand how to solve and get the answer. Also, pro tip, redo your homework or quizzes that are already graded, especially for the questions that you got wrong. Guys, you want to try to learn how to get the correct answer as soon as you get the feedback. So if you get your homework today back from your teacher, don't wait for 1 week until you look over for your corrections. Do it on the same day because your brain will be able to retain that information much longer. Guys, active recall is literally a cheat code. If you can get in the habit of studying through testing, you'll be able to study effectively and ace all your classes with ease. Now, you also want to make studying fun. And the way I personally do this is through creating flashcards on Quizlet. Basically, from your class notes or slides, you want to transform them into questions, where you're treating it almost like a game. By the way, don't expect that you can solve all the questions in your flashcards the first time. It's supposed to be challenging. The Yerkes-Dodson law talks about how if you're challenged, it can actually be a benefit for your learning. So challenge yourself a bit and try to make it fun. Pro tip, you can use ChatGPT and ask it to transform your notes into questions. It's easy to do, super simple, and super effective. Now, a lot of you guys are probably wondering, should I study alone or should I study with friends? Honestly, most of the time I study alone, and I recommend studying alone because you can focus better. But sometimes studying with friends can be refreshing, although most of the time we just end up talking about life. But if you're bored of your work environment, going to a cafe or library with a friend can make studying more fun. But honestly, 95% of the time, I'd recommend studying alone. I like to separate my study time from my playtime. Now, you also want to remove all distractions. A couple of things you want to do. First, whenever you're studying, put your phone on airplane mode or put it somewhere that's really far away from you, like your drawer or something like that. That way, you won't get distracted by any notifications. Now, one of my friends at Yale actually bought like this box timer where he locks his phone in the box for a couple of minutes. It's pretty funny actually, because if you call him, like he physically can't answer his phone. It's kind of crazy. I mean, if you want to go extreme, then go for it. But for me, putting my phone on airplane mode or simply putting it in a place far away works well. Nowadays, I have so much discipline that even if I put my phone on the table, I can focus easily. But for starters, you want to make it such that you literally can't access your phone. That way, you can focus much better because you have a working system. Also, I don't know about you, but I love listening to jazz or organic house music while I study. Sometimes I even listen to meditation music or binaural beats. And I know there are a lot of studies saying that studying with music is really bad for you. But honestly, I don't really care. It makes studying so much more fun. And low-key, I also find it easier to focus. So learn how to focus and remove all distractions. If you can focus, you can get much more work done in less time. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is your genius time. I'm talking about your peak productivity window. It's when you're able to focus best and do deep work. So for me, it's usually around 6 to 8 a.m. in the morning. But it really depends on your personality type. If you're more of a morning person, then around 8 to 10 a.m. could be your zone of genius. Or maybe it's 9 to 11 a.m. But if you're more of a night person, then your genius time could be 8 to 10 p.m. There's no right or wrong answer, just the one that best fits your lifestyle. Personally, I've designed my life such that I normally don't do any more studying after 6 p.m. After dinner is my time to work on my projects, hobbies, and to have lots of fun. So that's when I do things like make YouTube videos, read, cook up some house music with friends, play basketball, or simply do things that help me on my mission. But the point is, you want to create a system for yourself and become aware of your genius time. Because once you have a study system that works, you'll be able to get a lot of work done in less time. And you'll have so much more time outside of school to become that attractive character and to work on other areas of your life. And that is what I call lifestyle design. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, share this video and help a friend out. I have full confidence that if you guys follow the tips in this video, you'll ace all your classes effortlessly. As always, God bless the hustle. We're all gonna win one day, and I'll see you in the next one.